This is Josiah Hall, scholar in residence here at City Reformed, and the reading for today, March 24th, 2026, comes from Matthew chapter 22, verses 15 through 22. Then the Pharisees went and plotted how to entangle him in his words. And they sent their disciples to him, along with the Herodians, saying, "Teacher, we know that you are true, and teach the way of God truthfully, and you do not care about anyone's opinion, for you are not swayed by appearances. Tell us then what you think. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But Jesus, aware of their malice, said, "Why put me to the test, you hypocrites? Show me the coin for the tax." And they brought him a denarius. And Jesus said to them, "Whose likeness and inscription is this?" And they said, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Therefore render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." When they heard it, they marveled, and they left him and went away. Thus ends the reading of God's word. In Matthew 21, verses 23 through 27, the chief priests and elders challenged Jesus' his authority. Matthew then pivoted to three parables that illustrate a reversal of expectations that we've looked at over the last couple days. In each parable, there was a figure whom one would expect to obey or respond positively to an invitation, and instead that person disobeyed, rebelled, or rejected the invitation. These parables set the stage for another sequence of challenges to Jesus' authority that we'll look at today and tomorrow. In each of these challenges, one who would have been expected to recognize the Messiah, namely the Pharisees and then the Sadducees, do not. In today's passage, some Pharisees team up with the Herodians, a group whom we know little about, other than that they supported the rule of Herod in Galilee. These unlikely bedfellows come to Jesus with flattery and seek to trap him with a question about taxes. The tax in question was the poll tax, which was a tax levied on Roman provinces, which served to transfer wealth from the provinces to Rome, and it served to reinforce Roman domination and control. Consequently, paying these taxes would have reminded every Jew that they remained subservient to Rome, and that God had not yet kept his promises to free them from oppression and vindicate his people. By asking Jesus if it was permitted to pay the tax to the Romans, the Pharisees are asking him if he recognizes the Roman authority as legitimate. To advocate paying the tax would acknowledge Roman authority over God's people. How could one who claimed to be the Jewish Messiah acknowledge Roman authority? Yet the trap has two sides. For the Herodians, as loyal subjects of Herod, who was the client king installed by Rome, would have been quick to pounce on any hint of disloyalty or rebellion against Roman rule. The trap is well laid. Jesus' response, likewise, has two sides. First, Jesus states that Caesar's coins belong to him, for they bear his image. Thus, anyone who uses those coins has already acknowledged Caesar's authority. Yet Jesus does not leave matters there. Rather, he states that what belongs to God must be reckoned to God. Jesus' Jewish audience, like us, would have been familiar with how the creation account in Genesis states that humans are made in God's image. If the items marked by Caesar's image are owed to Caesar, then the items marked by God's image, namely every person, are owed to God. For an audience that was resentful of Roman domination and longing for deliverance, Jesus' remarks have profound implications. Caesar himself is not the ultimate authority. Rather, he himself owes his life and being to God. While in his first coming, Jesus does not overthrow Caesar's empire. When he returns, all earthly authorities will bow the knee before him and have to give account for how they have used the things marked by God's image. Jesus' statements here likewise encourage us to recognize that when we participate in earthly systems of trade and commerce, we are accepting the authority of the governments who establish and regulate those systems. At the same time, our greater allegiance is always owed to God. Because our involvement in economic systems always involves interactions with humans, marked by God's image, we need to remember that we are accountable to God for how we treat those made in his image.